Hey everyone, we're back. We're back from Germany and the Czech Republic. Had a fantastic trip. As you can tell, my voice is 85% back, and I can't wait to tell you about this trip and show you this footage. Check this out, guys. I wonder how the boys are doing in the shop today, but today we're still in Prague. I'm checking out my inner goth 600-year-old castle. Who'd have thought? Inside this gothic castle in Prague. Well, we're on our way to the farm tour and I believe the Horsch sprayer factory. So farming's coming. Hang on, guys. Well, if you ever wonder or complain about how complicated an otter system is on a square baler, the clock inside a Gothic tower is probably not beat. What's David doing today? Still trying to get my voice back, but we're at the first of 3 factory tours here for Horsch, and there is red equipment everywhere. And this is kind of exciting because maybe 9 months ago, we didn't know what one of these looked like firsthand. And now we're standing in front of lineups of Horsch avatars. And these are the European spec like ours. This is a 6-meter machine and a 4-meter machine. So it's kind of funny to see the smaller sizes. We bought the bigger one. We've got the 8-meter. The wings here don't fold up very high. You can see on the 6-meter machine there, the top of the toolbar doesn't even go taller than the tank, but on ours they do by quite a bit. But anyway, it's kind of neat to see some of these sizes that typically we wouldn't even see in Canada. Our 8-meter machine is pretty rare, so kind of neat to see what else is out there. But this Horsch tour so far is pretty cool. We've got to meet several members of the family, and they have been fantastic hosts to us, and the quality of these tours have been really, really high, and learning lots and seeing lots. Like, look at this little 6-row planter here. Pretty cool stuff. I did not know how large Horsch was as far as how many implements are in their lineup, but I heard in one of the conversations this morning that Horsch has 280 different implements in their portfolio. And other than the big 3, we all know who those are, Horsch is like the 4th biggest implement builder in the world. So I know we don't see a lot of it in our area, and that's coming, that's changing, and where their plans are for future growth is just crazy. But this factory here is the original homestead where Michael Horsch started building some implements for their own family farm back in the day 40 years ago. So to think that Horsch is a 40-year-old company and is now the 4th biggest implement builder in the world is pretty darn cool. And the success that they've had, and it's still a family-run business with some pretty cool succession planning. So pretty cool things to be listening about here. Seeing these bad boys come off the production line, that was insane. We're not sponsored by Horsch, but as you can see by my excitement, I am so proud of the purchase that we made last year. That's the drill for us, and this trip proved it. We got some backlogged orders of silage to get out here. I'm gonna be shipping some out today, but I'm not gonna bore you with that.
One of the coolest things or takeaways is Horsch is such a big company and able to react quickly to what the world needs or what agriculture needs in a specific area. And what they've noticed is that there are parts of the world like maybe Brazil or parts of North America where they need bigger drills with bigger tank capacities. So for the first time, they're building a Sprinter 80 feet wide, but they're also going to have a 1,500 bushel cart. So some people say, oh, these European brands are too small, this and that. Well, with Horsch, that's not true. And they are willing to adapt. They are willing to put the R&D, the design, the engineering into this kind of stuff. You're going to start to see a lot more of them large frame drills in our area here in North America, which is pretty darn exciting.
So my new friend France here is taking me for a ride in the
Hello.
in the Horsch leaf sprayer. We've got the boom unfolded, and I was gonna say this is probably harder to operate around here than it would be in a farmer's field, because we just have power poles or fence posts. But there are several $1 million sprayers in this parking lot, and we're driving around 133 foot wide. Hopefully you can see. Beside us, there's an obstacle for the boom, where the boom is going over a hillside. So the tractor's twisted on the road leaning one way and the boom has to flex the other. And we're doing the obstacle at speed. Here we go, watch the boom stay super nice and low to the ground. So we're gonna hit it one more time, and this time I'll show you guys how steady and level the booms stay over top of that rough obstacle. It's a pretty nice ride in the cab, but how the positive gyro system works on the boom. That boom doesn't move, doesn't bounce as it goes over the entire obstacle, even at speed. So kind of one of the things Horsch's claim to fame is just how accurate, how smooth and consistent that boom is over obstacles. So not only are there obstacles intended on this course, but this factory puts out how many sprayers a day, France? How many sprayers a day come out of here?
On the week, I think 40 over time. On the week.
Yes. So there are a lot of sprayers here being tested. Oh, I hope the video caught that, but for how rough it is in the cab, which is pretty smooth for how big those bumps are, that boom stayed completely smooth and didn't contact the ground. So, okay, well, thank you for the ride, Francis.
No problem, no problem.
Pretty darn cool machines. Quite the shakedown test. I kind of feel like if we got into spraying again and doing our own right now, we hired out. But one of these 3-point hitch sprayers for the back of the fast track would actually be pretty neat for us, because I think they're about a 24 meter boom. Well, you can get them in multiple sizes, but we wouldn't need anything over 80 feet for some of our smaller fields that we have a problem being able to get a contractor to come do. So that would be pretty cool, but we don't have the time to spray. I'm the only one on the farm with my class 1, so I'm hauling my own water and doing the spraying. So probably something we'll just continue outsourcing for now, but who knows, one day when we do, it'll probably be a Horsch. The Horsch leaf sprayer obstacle track that you're seeing us go over a bunch of these bumps, what you don't see is around the corner there was obstacles where the topography of the ground would change, and every machine goes through essentially their obstacle or proving ground when it comes off the production line. Horsch's theory of keeping the boom 10 to 12 inches off the ground while you are spraying in order to utilize the most minimal quantity of material and evaporation loss of the water that you're spraying is incredible. That their technology can follow the ground as good as it does over those obstacles. From a health perspective, soil health, environmental perspective, those Horsch sprayers, their theory is to put down the most minimal quantity of material possible, and that's by keeping the boom 10 to 12 inches above the ground. So, geez, it's impressive. The 160 some foot sprayer, the boom can follow the ground that closely and accurately and at speed. So another pretty cool part of this tour is the plots, the research plots that they've got here at Horsch's, at one of their research plots at one of their factories. And they actually do a lot of scientific research on how long-term soil health is contributed by all of their different tillage implements and direct seeding implements. So down at the end there, you can see some flags. Those are no-till strips, and these ones ahead of us are different plowing strips and disking strips. So different tillage depths, how they relate in the same field, from significant tillage year after year to no-till direct seeding down at the end. Same field, probably a very similar soil type, but it's only a few hundred yards away. But their documentation here goes back years and years and years. So I'll show you inside. They have some capsules of earthworms. So they actually show how over the years, how many less earthworms per sample per field exist in the soil. So everybody knows that extreme tillage breaks up that microbial activity and essentially earthworms. So that is captured here in data, and I'll show you here in a second, in the count of earthworms per square meter or whatever the measurement is, but it's documented here. So they're using their tillage to document the soil health and essentially tillage versus no-till farming. So not only are we seeing some equipment here today, but on the agronomy side, this is pretty cool too. Well, the Horsch factories, we've been to 3. We've been to some farms, some Horsch farms. The Horsch family owns and runs and manages a lot of farming acres in all of Eastern Europe, or in Germany, the Czech Republic. We've been to a couple different farms. The information overload is a little high right now, but this might be the last time we're at a factory tour here on this trip. But there's more to come and more to see, I'm sure. I'm just happy I'm starting to get my voice back. Well, guys, before I leave this factory tour, pay a little close attention to what that is there. It looks like a pull-type sprayer, but it's not. A little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at a pre-production dry fertilizer spreader from Horsch. They've taken their technology and built what is going to be a pretty darn cool dry fertilizer spreader that has all the same boom technology as the sprayer. Pre-production model right there. There's 8 of them being used in real life R&D right now. Those are going to be going through the 2025 season in full use, and then 2026 that spreader there will be available in the market. So stay tuned for that. I guess you may have seen the first Horsch dry spreader on Farm It Ain't Easy. Enjoy. Wow, these dairymen are very fast on telehandlers. By the time I had 42 bales unstrapped, he was unloading the last 2 bales. They are fast. That's probably the fastest unload I've ever seen. But anyway, back to Horsch. So some of the big equipment coming to North America is very, very exciting. Like we just said, the big sprinter that's coming, there's a new Avatar coming. Right now, the 40 and 60 foot Avatars are the most common with the smaller tanks in North America, coming out of Fargo, North Dakota. But now there's going to be a 66 foot Avatar with an 850 bushel built-in cart. So a consolidated cart and toolbar. 850 bushel. For all you guys that say that, you know, we need some more capacity on those European Horsch drills, they're here and they're coming. That's a pretty cool one. They've got a new Maestro coming that's going to be 90 foot. That's huge. A 90 foot drill with a 340 bushel cart, I believe they said. That thing's going to be huge. A new gantry planter as well. I believe I'm getting these names right, but the gantry is, they're coming out with a 120 foot gantry model planter. And it's being tested in 2025 here right now in Brazil. So like there are some big heavy hitters coming from Horsch, which is super exciting. I just can't believe that new Avatar with an 850 bushel cart. That is gonna be huge. Good job, Horsch. I know there's a few guys in
in North America here that just want the big capacity, and you guys listen, so that's impressive too. I'm such a dork sometimes. Just got back from delivering another load of silage, dealing with all this ice on the darn driveway and fueling up, and I'm still reminiscing about this darn trip. It's awesome. And you know, one of the coolest things I think I took away was how far some companies can take quality. They have a robotic bearing assembly machine area, and instead of having pre-manufactured bearings, a lot of Horsch bearings are Horsch specific bearings. So yes, they could subcontract those from other manufacturers, but they don't. They machine a lot of these parts. Yes, they may buy oil seals and certain components, but the coolest thing was they have this robot that measures tolerances on everything from oil seals and components inside of bearings, and they will mix and match components of certain manufacturing intolerances and mix and match them together when they assemble a bearing. And you know, you ask yourself, well, why are they doing that? And we obviously asked that question on the tour, and well, it's actually quite smart and simple. Is they had a 1% failure rate on bearings prior to this new robotic assembly and measuring system. And now with this robotic measuring and assembly system, they're 0.01 of a failure rate on their bearings, just because they can take the manufacturing intolerances that unfortunately do exist and assemble different components of different intolerances that are just generic in the manufacturing process to say this race is going to go best with this ball bearing, this cage, this oil seal, etc. So man, just good job Horsch on taking the quality control standard from here to here. So now we're just loading another load of silage, going to a dairy up in central Alberta, telling Kyle all about the trip and congratulating Kyle on the last week's video, all the work he did to this telehandler. It doesn't smell like a dairy barn in there anymore. Air conditioning works, we know a bunch of problems with the boom and where they're at, and even small things like some of the fenders and lights are fixed. We got a beacon on the roof again, that was broke off from the previous owner, so that's all cool. But just telling Kyle a bit about the trip here and chatting with the guys at Horsch, and this being our first year with the new drill, saying, well, you know, what you like, what you didn't like, and wow, there really wasn't anything we didn't like. The performance of the drill in every way worked for us. The rate control system worked for us better than any other drill we've had. So again, very happy with it. But the most exciting part, I said to one of the guys, was our intercropping capability to seed multiple crops in different furrows. And it's kind of funny, here we are loading silage talking about it. This was actually one of our first fields. We divided the crop by 13-inch spacing, sorghum Sudan grass to 13-inch spacing on annual ryegrass in between the sorghum Sudan. And here we are.
Reminiscing about Germany and all the cool things you got to learn there. And this field has just been like a stellar crop for us. And it's gonna, as you can see in some of the loads here, that we're going to get more feed off of this first year crop than we would have in the pasture that it has been in for the last 45 years.
Yeah, so if you guys go back in some of our videos where we were plowing and power harrowing with Mr. Plow, that's this field. So this was a 45-year-old pasture, like you say, and we were able to go in 1 year to almost a non-producing pasture to a phenomenal silage crop, and this is going to a dairy. And they're thrilled with the feed value that we've gotten, and we couldn't have done it without the drill because we wouldn't have been able to seed multiple crops at the same time. So that's a good point. But well, let's get this load home. I'll be leaving early in the morning with it, but
Try and get 2 tomorrow.
2 loads would be good. 2 loads would be good, but nothing to it but to do it, eh? Yeah, Horsch has been fantastic hosting us, taking us out for the last 3 days. It's been great. There's a lot going on here at this company, and it's a fantastic family as well. We've got to meet almost all of them. Thank you, Michael Horsch, and all your brothers, everyone that we've met. We met Lucas Horsch as well. I'm forgetting everybody's names, but we met many Horsch family members, and it's super cool that the Horsch family is so involved. This isn't some big massive corporate company that's, you know, owned by the stock market.
this is a family-run company, and everybody has their boots on the ground, joining us for lunches and taking us places, and even last night having a beer. So pretty cool to just see a family-run business of this size and with these values. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Farming Ain't Easy and our tour of the Horsch factory over in Germany. I got one more German pastry for the road here, and we're off. Thank you again to Horsch and the Horsch family. It was great to meet you all, and you guys build fantastic products. Thanks for showing me around. See you on the next one.